We're now down to our 29th and final race of the 2022 Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup here at Karting Campillos in Andalusia in Spain. And to close out the show, it is DD2 Masters. Let's have a look at your starting grid. So on pole position, following what happened post-race after the pre-final, it's going to be Jonathan Wimont that is going to be starting from pole position this time. Bruno dos Santos will line up, so it's an all-French front row. Martina Stankiewicz will start from the inside of row number 2, and we'll have the Netherlands' Christophe Adams alongside. Prit Sai from Estonia and Jimmy Chaumier ran out the top 6 positions ahead of Karl Klibor and Andreas Neumann representing Belgium and Germany respectively. Then it is Christophe Capitain and Rodrigo Pinilos that completes the top 10. Maxim Shaposhnikov from Russia, Renis Fries and Rudy Champion complete the grid. And it was with regards to Rudy Champion being demoted to the back of the grid, it was down to a decision by the stewards that had an investigation. Champion was promptly excluded, so we'll start from the back of the field. Expect a charge forward from the 504. Oh, now someone went off on the dust. I didn't quite catch who that was, and that was going down the straight through the middle of the track. So someone had a big off, and it kicked up a lot of dust. Can't exactly see whose side pods or tyres are dirty at the moment from my vantage point here at the commentary box on the start-finish straight. So, one more race, one last hurrah. 14 minutes plus an additional lap. Revs rise, in the tram lines we go. Lights out and racing. And it's down to the first corner. The run is going to be completed first of all by Jonathan Wimont, who's got Stankiewicz from Lithuania just going up the inside of Bruno dos Santos through the first corner. Now Prit Sai up into 3rd place. Karl Klibor up into 4th. They're all battling for a step on the podium. The top 2 will give those drivers respective prizes. The winner will get a full season pass into the Euro Trophy this year to all 4 rounds, and the runner-up will get a chance to race at the International Trophy at Le Mans. Stankiewicz is hungry for that victory. And already, just keeping an eye on Rudy Champion, he's already up into, I think, well, he's halfway through the field is Rudy Champion. He's just getting past, I think, Christophe Adams, if memory serves. Yep, that's right, Christophe Adams. And now, Stankiewicz is going towards the inside of Wimont, going into the approach into turn 1, and the Lithuanian hits the curbs, but manages to keep it pinned and gets through. And now takes the lead on the commencement of lap 2 here of the race. Prit Sai not too far behind. Top 4 covered by 0.7, rounded out by Karl Klibor. Bruno dos Santos not too far adrift, but Rudy Champion might have, or is very shortly going to be catching a couple of the drivers in front. So he's currently in 7th, so he's nearly halfway through the field, and we're only a minute and 40 into the race itself. It's closing on Christophe Capitain, but Martina Stankiewicz showed what was possible in the pre-final. Managed to get himself into 3rd place and could have had 2nd, could have been on the front row. I think he probably thought, well, I'm better off staying on the right-hand side of the grid. And now Top four covered by 6.5 tenths. Champion trying to get past Christophe Capitain and is about 2 tenths off. And Champion set the fastest lap of the race. Nice move there from Carl Clebot to jump up into third position past Britsai. Dos Santos is with them. So is Capitain, so is Champion. As they go down the hill. Very closely competitive set of drivers here this time. And there's fire and brimstone everywhere. Go down the back straight away. Across the line they go once again. And Tankevicius has started cantering away into the distance. He's like a scalded cat on a hot tin roof, is the Lithuanian. He's over 3/4 of a second clear of Jonathan Wimore. 10.5 minutes still to go. The Lithuanian looks to be extending that lead. So into the hairpin, pit side closing under braking to the back bumper of the 506 of Belgium's Carl Clebot. This is the battle for the final step of the rostrum. 4 minutes down, 10 minutes to go, plus 1 lap. As they hurtle their way across the start-finish line. It's getting a bit closer now, so it's Clebot, Dos Santos, Britsai, Christophe Capitain, and Rudy Champion. And then we've got, I think we did see, I did briefly see Rudy Champion, then Christophe Adams not too far adrift. So that's 3rd to 8th position. That is a total of 6 drivers that are in contention for the final step of the rostrum. Christophe Capitain will try and hold off Rudy Champion as much as possible. But with 5 minutes of the race completed, 9 to go, anything's possible. And Rudy Champion has shown before in previous races, I've seen him racing the International Trophy. He came back from a devastating heat race incident in the heat stages at the International Trophy, came back to win the race in the final when it counted the most, and booked his ticket to the Grand Finals last year, but really not able to make it to Bahrain. And there's a move there from the 504 from Rudy Champion on Christophe Capitain. Over the crest, and now Champion, who isn't actually setting the fastest laps out there. He's currently running in a 1:03.7 or a 1:03.8. Tankevicius is running consistently in the 1 minute 3.1s. So a significant difference in terms of the pace. But we are just under 60 seconds away from hitting the halfway mark on the timer counting down. It's getting a bit close between Bruno Dos Santos, who has been caught by Carl Clebot, and at the moment Dos Santos is hemorrhaging time behind Jonathan Wimore, who is about 1.9 seconds up the road, who in turn is 1.6 seconds behind Martinas Tankevicius from Lithuania. So the Lithuanian has made sure he was in the right place at the right time and is pulling away. Champion, up until the pre-final, did have a 100% success rate, but unfortunately that went out the window once the exclusion occurred and put him right on the back foot. As there are some moves being made, and there has been a move. Pritzai versus Carl Clebor. Now here comes Rudy Champion. Champion right in the slipstream, going into turn one, into the right-hander that takes them up the first part of the hill. Champion will wait and see when his line of opportunity presents itself, because now that's him past Christophe Capitain. Down the hill they go again. 6 minutes plus an additional lap still to go of the race event. And Martinas Stankovičius has checked out. 119 seconds ahead of Jonathan Wimont. Here is the battle a little bit further back. It's for 5th position backwards, so 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. That's Clebor, Champion, Capitain and Adams. As Adams brings the old school of send up the inside of Christophe Capitain on the second to last corner. That was a lovely bit of manoeuvring there by the 555 from the Netherlands. Christophe Adams has actually won the Grand Finals twice. Once as a DD2 Masters driver and also as a Max Masters driver. And Max Masters still being competed in across parts of the globe. I think Christophe Adams actually at one point, he went to RMC Rotax Max Challenge South America. Ended up going to Buenos Aires in Argentina of all places to try and qualify. And that was for the 2020 Grand Finals that were due to go to Bahrain that year, but obviously because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it got delayed, relocated to Portugal, and then got cancelled altogether before we ended up in Bahrain last year. Rudy Champion now closing in on Carl Clebor. That's for 5th position with 4 minutes and 20 still remaining on the clock, plus an additional lap. And not been a good day. Well, it's not a good end to the weekend for Rodrigo Pinilos, who is 17.6 seconds away from the leader. Stankovičius is being rather ruthless here right now, and the reason being is that the lap times are anywhere between 1 minute 3.1, mid 1 minute 3.1, and a low 1 minute 3.3. So this is where it all comes down to how much lap time can you put through, and we'll just see how it happens as such. So we head into the last 3 1/4 minutes of the race and also of the weekend. These drivers, a lot of them have actually been here pretty much all week. Those that have come here closer to the weekend, some drivers do have full-time employment, but they still come to enjoy the purity of racing here in Rotax. And the gap consistently expanding. So now Pritzai is starting to pull away from those behind, including Carl Clebor, as we head into the last couple of minutes. And now Rudy Champion fancies an opportunity, maybe getting into the top 5 with a couple of minutes remaining. and see if we can get past Karl Klebor in the dying stages of the race. Down the straight through the middle of the circuit they go. Klebor looks over his right shoulder, sees where Rudy Champion is. So 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go. Not 1 hour there, Alex. Get your words out right. It's been a long weekend. There we go. That's my excuse. But we're into the last 60 seconds of the race itself. And Rudy Champion trying to close in on Karl Klebor, but hasn't been able to facilitate that. We still have all 13 drivers out on circuit, and the man of the moment, Martinas Tankevicius from Lithuania, in 5:33, is free and clear. The gap last time round ahead of France's Jonathan Wimour is 3.649 seconds, and I think it could be further extended. We go on to the penultimate lap of the race weekend. And Tankevicius puts in the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 2.845. Gap now extends to 4.2 seconds. Dos Santos still on the cusp of a podium. Pritzai still holding station. The Estonian still rounding out the top four ahead of Karl Klebor. Rudy Champion is closer as the timer has officially expired. 14 minutes have elapsed. One more lap, 1,580 meters of Circuito Karting Campillos here in Campillos in Andalusia in southern Spain brings the 2022 Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup to its inevitable conclusion. And a little bit later on this afternoon, we'll crown our Winter Cup champions, give away around about to the value of 30,000 euros worth of prizes for drivers on the podium. There we go, final lap of the meeting. Tankevicius goes up the hill. The 5:33 from Lithuania has done the job when it matters the most. Rudy Champion was the driver that I was mainly talking about. But there was a glimmer, there was a sign of life springing in through during the pre-final from this driver here. Down the straight, through the middle of the track for one more time. There's the other two drivers, two French drivers, and it's Jonathan Wimour and Bruno Dos Santos this time. And Christophe Adams has got past Rudy Champion in the meantime. However, we turn our attention to Lithuania's number 533. Martinas Tankevicius comes out of the final corner and takes the checkered and wins the DD2 Masters Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup crown in fine style by nearly 4.9 seconds. Jonathan Wimour and Bruno Dos Santos bring it home for France. And they'll be representing their nation proudly, second and third on the podium. Pritzai from Estonia completes the top four, ahead of Karl Klebor from Belgium in fifth. Christophe Adams takes home a sixth place finish in the final, ahead of Rudy Champion, who was on the back foot the minute we went lights out earlier on, just about 15 and a bit minutes ago. Christophe Capitan in 8th, Jimmy Chaumier in 9th, with Andreas Neumann from Germany completing the top 10. Renis Freys from Sweden in 11th, Maxim Shaposhnikov from Russia, and Rodrigo Pinilos completing the field. All 13 drivers making it to the checkered.